Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mufasa's book readings. My name is Julia, and I am your reader for the day. We're still on our book, The Third Alternative by Stephen R Covey. Today, we're going into chapter 6, and chapter 6 was compiled by Stephen R Covey and Larry M. Boyle. The sixth chapter is titled The Third Alternative and the Law. It starts off with a quote, as per usual, by Robert Frost. The quote reads, a successful lawsuit is the one won by a policeman. I'll start with the reading. In the little English village of Breedon on the Hill, the annual pantomime brought all the townspeople together for a night of silly songs and fancy dress theatricals. It took weeks to prepare, and everybody loved watching their neighbors make fool of themselves. The tradition was to hold the panto in the school hall, built decades before largely through donations from the village. But the tradition abruptly ended when a new headmistress took over the school. It evoked new safety codes and suggested staging the panto elsewhere. The town barked, and she raised the fee for use of the hall to 800 euros, which is equivalent to plus minus 13,000, which made everyone gasp. Nobody could pay that kind of money, So they demanded the council give them free access to the hall, but the council barred them. And for the first time in half a century, no panto was held in Breedon. Soon, the quarrel went to court, the villagers protested the fee, and the new Criminal Records Bureau checks that had to be done on anyone who entered the school buildings. Years before, they had paid 3,000 euros toward the construction of the hall and felt entitled to use it for free of charge outside school hours without being investigated like criminals. School officials argued that the expense of maintaining the hall had shot up and they couldn't afford to host the panto any longer. The request was unreasonable and unworkable. They couldn't bear up under the massive exercise in form filling required on every single villager who came into the hall. After 7 years and 6.7 million euros in fees, the lawsuit worked its way through the High Court of England, where the Lord Chief Justice finally decided it against the people of Breedon. He also ordered them to pay the crushing costs. The headmistress and the vicar of the parish have long resigned over the tension. Old friends no longer speak. Relationships between town and council are irretrievably broken. And the village pantomime, where foolishness was once a source of fun, is gone for good. This story is so typical that most of us shrug it off. The case of Breedon on the Hill is just another skirmish in wasteful, destructive war we wage on each other through our courts. The adversarial justice system is a formalization of the second alternative thinking. Our courts crammed with lawsuits ranging from frivolous and inane to those who destined to shape an entire nation. Even the countless cases with merit are so costly in money and broken relationships that in the end, neither party really wins. Abraham Lincoln always advised, discourage litigation. The nominal winner is often the real loser in fees, expenses, and waste of time. The stories are endless. When a young volunteer for with Teach for America, ejected a misbehaving 12-year-old from class. The parents sued the school for $20 million. In another case, a man sued his dry cleaner for $67 million for losing his pants. No one knows how much money is awarded in judgments each year. The number would be astronomical. But in the United States alone, billable hours for attorneys add up to $71 billion. There are now more than a million lawyers in the United States, 500,000 in Brazil, and 150,000 in Britain. The next segment that I'm going to read has a title. It's titled "The Incomparable Role of Peacemaker." Oh, and it reads, "We deeply honor and respect those who enter into the noble practice of law. Theirs is the supreme opportunity to bring relief, creative solutions, peace, and healing to individuals. In a world overridden with strife, contention, and intractable problems, the New Testament teaches, 'Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.' If there ever was a time when we need peacemakers, it is today. And lawyers are uniquely positioned to take that role. As a peacemaker, a lawyer has a superior opportunity," said Lincoln. A key purpose of this chapter is to help those who deal with lawyers, as well as those who practice law to understand this great opportunity. To the practitioners, Larry says this: At the outset, I must acknowledge a bias and make a disclosure. I like lawyers and have enjoyed working with them for more than 40 years. In the years preceding my service in the state and federal judiciaries, my partners and I had a successful and rewarding private practice representing clients ranging from individuals and to Fortune 500 companies. I understand the demands placed on lawyers and the great pressures they experience in their professional lives. Over many years, I gained great respect for lawyers and the legal profession. The vast majority of lawyers are honest, competent, and decent men and women, providing quality service to clients in a timely manner and at a fair price. There is much of a positive nature to the legal profession. However, there are serious issues with the legal process that affect the health and happiness of all involved. This will address some of those issues openly and frankly. We are both convinced that most attorneys enter the practice of law with the highest of ideals, with a love of justice and rule of law, with a desire to earn a good living and provide a good life of opportunity for themselves and their families, and with a sincere desire to serve humanity. Many succeed at creating a practice anchored in these ideals and enjoy remarkable careers, bringing relief and creative solutions to countless beneficiaries. However, as young attorneys get stuck into the world of the firm and the partner track and the adversarial battle with the other side, many become disconnected from these ideals. They compartmentalize their work life from their private life and are often feeling emotionally, mentally, and spiritually empty. In the end, many lawyers feel far from peacemakers. Patrick J. Schlitz, a former law professor and dean, now a federal court judge in Minnesota, warns law school graduates. I have good news and bad news. The bad news is that the profession you're about to enter is one of the most unhappy and unhealthy on the face of the earth. And in the view of many, one of the most unethical. The good news is that you can join this profession and still be happy, healthy, and ethical. That is where today's reading will end. I think what I really took out of today's reading is the fact that there is just so much pressure placed on lawyers' shoulders that we can alleviate through the third alternative thinking, and it is through that we can just really solve really small petty issues like your dry cleaner replacing your trousers. It doesn't have to necessarily go to court suing millions of rands that are really not necessary. And it's really not about you as a person, but as the world. We just need to see the world as that we are together and we are striving towards a goal of living purposeful lives, just rather than saying that it is my way, and if it's not my way, then it's not going to work for us. But there are so many ways that we can find and that works really for the best of us. And lawyers can now be able to serve us on a greater scale. They can be able to solve problems that they really need to, they just don't need so much pressure that is unnecessary. We can just bring so much worth to their profession. And I hope you really enjoyed today's reading. Thank you for watching, and you can get this video on YouTube. Thank you so much. Bye.